What is going on? What is good with everybody? We are here with our second of the year Union post game show, and I am here with my main man, Steve Finetez. Guys, you know him. He's going to be rock and roll with me again. We'll be running it back tomorrow. Of course, always welcome to the show. Doesn't need an invitation. He just takes over whenever he feels like it. My man JD Walker, you guys catch him right there on Stream Punk Soccer. Catch him right there on Stream Punk Network. He does a great job covering all soccer and college basketball. It's always an honor and privilege to have him on the program as well. Guys, here we are, and I think we can all go home happier, even though we didn't get the result that we wanted. But just seeing the dogfight out of this team with Jim Curran pretty much just having nothing but bench pieces. The guys who stepped up from the bench really made things happen. And one in particular is Ty Baribo. Not one, but 2 goals on the night. Guys, he had that nice kick, around the surrounding area. So, of course, JD, I'm going to start with you. Take me through Ty Baribo's game.
He was managed to be in the right place at the right time, kind of shut up all the haters early on, and there's been quite a bit of hate from all over Union Land, and understandably so. But he shut everybody up tonight, and I saw something a little bit early on in the 24th minute. He set up Bueno for a good look. We set up almost the Brujo bomb, as I call it, a long range shot from the midfield. It was off target, but it was almost like, okay, there's some competence here. And as the game went along, and then that ad play in the 43rd, right before halftime, with Mabizo setting it up from the corner, and then Uwa rising up with the header over to Baribo in front of the right side of the net. Boom. And, it was a game of tit for tat all game. Every time Cincinnati scored, the Union countered until the little last minute when they couldn't counter anymore. Wow. I'm pleasantly surprised with what we saw out of this team tonight, given the absolute shit show that we had on Saturday night, rather. Apologies, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. But just this, a 4-3 loss on the road, which is amazingly their first loss on the road this season for the Union. But maybe there's something here, but this doesn't really take away what happened. It makes it hurt a little less, but with what we've seen out of this team recently, we needed to see something different. With 5 starters missing, we had to see something different. It was different bad the other night. Maybe this is different good. Unfortunately, the one thing that remains constant is boneheaded plays from Jack Elliott. That's kind of been that's been a bad pattern this season. That he's biting him at the wrong times.
Yeah, listen, you mentioned again. Me and Steve kind of were talking about this off air, and I said this is going to be one of those games that Jim Curran is going to he's going to discover something good with what he has, playing in front of him, and maybe he did. Maybe he's going to. Hey, listen, when we first signed up for Ty Baribo, we're like, who's this cat? And then you look at his resume, and you're like, okay, he sounds like he's a decent striker. Let's see how it pans out to the MLS world. And like you just said, JD, there's been a lot of haters since day one, since he came on the team. And then he's been getting he only get like 2 minutes of playing time at one period of time.
He had 29 minutes the entire season before tonight.
Wow. Tonight was his actually, that was like a really audition of what he could bring to the table, and he shocked a lot of people. Again, I would sell for one goal, but for you to put up two, and like you said, knowing the circumstances of your team not having your stars in play, and this could have been a sign of good things for the Philadelphia Union. Not having your stars giving you lackluster effort. I mean, the bench came through tonight, and that's what it was, and it's really shocked everyone. Granted, this team's on the road. We know they are a better team than they are on the road than they are at Subaru hell, as it seems about to be. But granted, however, we are all so pleasantly surprised of what this team did tonight. It's like the Rocky story. I mean, you were playing against the MVP with bench pieces, and you gave the MVP a mouthful, a ton of, had them scratching his chest. Patrick Noonan had to come up with some plays, and Jim Curran said, "Listen, I got some, I got some plays up my sleeve just with my bench," and he did. He made some plays. The bench looked really, really good. And, it just like you said, though, it's a shame there wasn't 10 more minutes on the clock, or we could have walked out with a draw. But like I said, not the answer we wanted. But however, listen, with all that being said, we might have found some answers, some good ones too. So, Steve, I'll go to you too. Todd Baribo, what stood out to you tonight?
He's Carranza's replacement, right? That's what it's going to be from this point on. That was his audition, or he's not be on the bench anymore. There's no reason when you score, you come out and you have a brace like this, the equalizers that they were right before the half, and then the third goal, to equalize it. So he needs to be starting. It almost looks, it's going to make Jim Curtin look really bad for the fact that why hasn't he been coming off the bench in situations where he's going to get more minutes instead of coming in at the 80th minute mark of matches, instead of coming in at the 60th minute where he can make a difference instead of, let's just get him some run. He clearly can go out there and give you 75 to 80 minutes of up and down, great soccer. He had some really good runs. He put himself in great positions, i.e. both of his goals, and that is the difference between some of these other, you've been playing Quinn Sullivan as a forward when he should be playing midfield, and that's the difference from a real forward or a real striker, is they're going to put themselves in situations to be a striker, and that's what you're not seeing when you're putting Quinn Sullivan up there, up with the Carranzas and the Uwas of the world, because it's just too many individual performances that don't mesh well together anymore. And it's a shame that it took an effort like this and a losing effort to find this key and this new solution to what we could possibly see moving forward. But I'm happy that he got it. I'm happy that this is what we got now moving forward.
Yeah, and listen, like you said, moving forward, you open my eyes. This is going to be Carranza's replacement. It took a long time to figure out what we're going to do next, how this franchise is going to respond. The writing was on the wall. This guy was going to be out of here. But guess what? It was kind of like you said, like we said before, prior to the game, you found a diamond in the rough without even looking for it. You know what I mean? And it just came up right upon you. It just answered. The diamond rough is there for you. He looks good, man. He looks good. He looks solid. It's everything we signed up for. Like I say, you saw his resume last year heading into this year. He's been a playmaker. So kudos to Ty Baribo again. And we're going to break it down. Some player making idiotic mistakes. Him and a couple other guys. I mean, this Union team shot themselves in the foot tonight. If they didn't shoot themselves in the foot tonight, this was a winnable game for the Philadelphia Union to take back to Philly for Saturday. And then you have all the confidence in the world going against this Montreal team. But now we're going to see what they can do and get ready to salvage a W and look for. But maybe Jim, like I said, like you guys were just saying, maybe Jim found something. Maybe Jim can work with something now. So maybe this could be good things to happen. So, yeah, player of the game. I mean, devil for the Philadelphia Union wise, Ty Baribo. Like JD said, being in the right place at the right time. You were down low. You were making creative plays, headers, all that stuff, making great passes. And Woodward took full leverage and find the back. So Ty Baribo, man, what a player today. What a playmaker. What a difference maker he was in today's game.
Another good performance I wanted to highlight tonight was Jeremy Raffanella. The last two games has been playing surprisingly well, where he held Busquets in check against Miami the other night, and he had a hockey assist on one of the goals tonight. It was let's see, just checking back on my notes here. I don't know if it was the second. I think it was the second goal or the third goal. And Rafa might be another diamond in the rough as well, where he's been, after we hadn't seen anything from him, at least not with the first team, until the last two games, and there's another one like, okay, there might be something here, and he was a real nice guy talking to him after the Miami game. And credit to him for not taking the bait when a reporter asked him, here's what Kai just said. What are your thoughts? I'm just gonna keep doing my thing as a homegrown player. He didn't touch it. Good on him for knowing his place.
Yeah, good.
And but Rafa's been playing pretty well. This is only one game. Let's pump the brakes a little bit on the Ty Baribo show. It is one game, one fabulous game, but he was brought in mid-season last year when, as I heard some sources say, that it was they described signing Baribo as a panic move when they thought they were going to lose Carranza in the mid-season window last year. Or possibly after the end of the season. So Baribo was, from the beginning, brought in to be Carranza's replacement. Okay, Carranza's out the door. Here it is. Sink or swim time. You're getting paid all that money. Now go out there and then show us what you got.
Yeah, it is sink or swim time, and that's what it was. And like I said, last year I felt bad for the guy because like we've seen it. The guy was only coming, getting his feet wet, trying to make moves, and you really can't make moves coming in at the tail end of a game. But and credit to Jim Curran, because I thought he was going to go a lot more. I thought we were going to see a lot more from a rotational bench, and no, it kind of really stayed with the guys at hand. And I got to listen. I was one of those cats who've been on this Jim Curran hot seat thing, but what I saw tonight, for what you have, like me and Steve always say, this guy is trying to build Ferrari with old station wagon pieces. You're really trying. You went to the junkyard and you're really trying to build a Ferrari for what you have. And my God, he brought. Tonight was just incredible. You have Luciano Acosta. He is a playmaker. He makes plays. MVP. Did he take full leverage on Jack Elliott? Of course he did. But for this team to come back and answer back with bench pieces, there might be three starters on the entire team tonight that we had. But that's the starters that you want. You want Elliott, or McGlynn, and you want those guys. But other than that, it was just pretty much. Here, put the weight on my shoulder with the bench, and like I said, we're pumping our brakes about Ty Baribo moving forward. We'll still have to see what he has to do against this this upcoming Saturday. Maybe he's the savior for Saturday, who will bail us out and get us a home win forever. Maybe he's going to be the guy who answers the bill, because if it's not going to be him, then you might as well throw a raccoon in. Something's got to answer. But yeah.
I mean,
Yes,
the
I think
raccoon.
Kai really.
I heard multiple people in the press box during the raccoon incident say that the raccoon had been on the field longer than Ty Baribo this year.
yes, yes,
At that point of the season,
Yeah.
it was true. But hey, he put all the haters in the trash can, just like
yes, he did. He put me upside down, and hung me by my underwear.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
I think
Yes.
Kai really backed up his talk after the Miami game tonight too, with 2 assists, and you could tell he was really pushing the envelope. Those last like 15, 20 minutes, he was really getting in good positions on the wing and really setting up good crosses and good opportunities in the box towards the end. That really kind of created that last Kai equalizer before Costa went in and did what MVPs do. And that's the thing that sucks the most is about this is, you guys keep saying, you're taking the good from this match, but it's so frustrating for me too because of how close they were to getting a draw on the road to the second best team in the league right now, to with what you keep saying, Pat, with these guys who are bench players who are going to be starters moving forward, most likely, or having to be forced to. And it's almost like, man, it would have been another one of those draws that felt like a win on the road, and it got snatched from them like so fast, like with the snap of a finger. And it sucks because it's the MVP who did it. Because like of all people, like stop him.
Yeah, and you do.
You can't stop him tonight.
And listen,
Yeah.
And the guy, and right, you can't stop him when the guy playing defense has caused nothing. I mean, it was a full mismatch for Acosta. You know what I mean? This guy's going to keep on making dumb penalties or making dumb moves. I'm going to burn him every time. I'm going to cook him every time every chance I get. You get tripping. I'll take the free kick. And that's what it was. I'll take the free kick. You're going to get me in spacing. Boom. I'm going to hit the header to Kelsey. What else do you want me to do to you? What? And that's what it was. You're going to give me spacing. Boom. Another mistake you made. And like I said, not just him. I can't. And then you have to go to, like I said, the one kid who made a goal from pretty much half the field, and that was so good being out of place. Definitely a dumb decision by him, and like I said, that was like a whole one. That's like when you're watching one of those a Happy Gilmore hole in one from the other side of the field. You're like, that stuff never happens, but it can only happen in the Union. But I do want to touch on.
That's the second time it's happened this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
I miss
frustrating.
Andre Blake.
And that's where Andre Blake would have came up solid.
And I know Jose sent out a tweet where it was like, that happened to Blake before, but I mean, this was it. JD just said it happened earlier on in the season, and it's just 4 goals you gave up. The one goal I give a lot of blame to Nate Harriel. The first goal, he was so flat-footed and he was ball watching, and I only give him like half blame because he was playing out of position. That's not his normal position, so he's doing what his muscle memory instinct is to do as a right back, and that is to kind of ball watch until the ball gets there. So it's like, but it was such a weak header from Kelsey that Zemla's got to get a better read on that ball. Yeah. On such a weak header, but those are the sort of goals where you can argue back and forth about, man, would Blake have made that save and whatever. I rather it be Blake in goal now. Who, if Blake's going to give up those goals, I'd rather it be Blake who gives up those goals now than Zemla, who the announcer said at the beginning of the game. I don't think the Union ever imagined that Zemla is going to be seen 16 appearances so far in the season. Yeah. Oh my gosh. But at this point, I can't wait to get Damian Lowe, to get Elliott out of there, and then for Blake to get back to get Zemla out of there, because I feel like it's messing with Zemla's mental as well. When you keep getting results like this, and it's like, man, I was only supposed to be the backup. I wasn't supposed to be starting this many matches. So I'm hoping
Right. I mean,
he's on the mend.
You bring an interesting, good point there, Steve, because he was sitting there supposed to study the Andre Blake playbook. Well, he don't have it. Now it's here, Alva. It's your playbook, and you just right as you go. I mean, this guy really doesn't have too much, experience, in the MLS realm as far as being a starting goalie. But like you said, he's here. He's being serviceable. We could grade on so many different levels, but it's okay. But listen, JD, you kind of touched on. I want to talk about him as well. You talking about Wagner and how important has he been, especially with the 2-set piece. I mean, he just quarterbacks it from over there, and again, find a couple guys open, and he finally finds Abeno, and again finds the back of the net, which made it 2-2. I mean, so JD, I want to go to you. How do you feel about Wagner and just being the quarterback from the corner?
Wagner did what I will say that Kai was also a little off the other night with a lot of his set pieces, but he came right back tonight, where with 2 assists, including the header assist on I believe it was the Bueno goal. Yeah, and just he's been while for that dumb incident in the 12th minute with the double yellow card. That was that early on. I was just like, okay, you're going to follow up what you said with this, but it tightened right up after that. And while Kai didn't have a perfect performance, nobody on this team did tonight. But he backed up his comments the other night. Whether because it would, I mean, say what you will about what he said, for something like that if he was to come out with a performance like that, for a good performance after saying what he said, as opposed to just crawling up into a ball.
Yeah,
Wagner backed it up. And also this whole team, there's fight in this team. That is something good to see. Yeah, it didn't result in a win tonight. None of us expected a win, and we would have been very happy with that draw. But Lucho is, they said 92 assists, 9th in league history. He's one of the best, climbing up the leaderboards as one of the best to ever play in MLS. That's the kind of player that you can't let him beat you, but nobody was able to stop him.
No,
that's where you got to go stop him. And they weren't able to stop him. They just couldn't. I don't think anybody could have tonight.
No, and Costa, like you said, he was going to get his. It's like playing, in the NBA, superstars are going to get theirs. You can't do nothing about it. And he, like I said, full mismatch that he saw on the floor. I mean, again, you sign up your worst defensive player who makes all the mistakes in the world against the MVP, and only you're going to get bad things happen to Philly. You know what I'm saying? So, and that was the result that happened. And it was bad results were going to happen. And Costa, like I said, said, "Here, you want to make get a penalty, give us a penalty kick. I'll take it. You want to give me plenty of spacing on the floor. I'll make you pay the piper," and so forth. And that's what it was. So, Steve, I'm going to go to you as well. Wagner's performance to you tonight.
Like I mentioned before, when JD said it, backing up those sort of words, you have to come out and have a performance like that. And I thought the same thing that JD said at the 12th minute mark when he had that stupid foul. It was almost like Jose Martinez, sort of foul. And it was so frustrating to see because it was like, come on, that's exactly what JD said. That's how you're going to come out. But then that's normal for Kai, I feel like, because he is that like second enforcer on the squad, but next to Jose. So for him to come out and have those assists, those corners, the timely assist of them too, because of how timely they were. And it's just, JD said it. It's what he's been doing for this club. Kai's corner. It's what I like to call him, every time, because where my season tickets are, they're right in front of the 139, right in front of the corner. So I always chant, that's Kai's corner over there. So it's what he's known for. I hated when they were doing those, when they weren't sending it in and they were just giving a pass off the corner for a few matches where they started doing that. It was like, the one thing that you're doing well and that you can do well is corners. Why are you not even sending the ball in? So you got to keep using him for those things. And I can understand his frustration. If this would have been like after one match of you hearing the murmurs of we need more people or the fans cheering, we want more signings, then I would have been like, whoa, like, hey, it's only been like a few. This has been a long time coming and everyone knows. He's just saying out loud what everyone's been thinking and what everyone wants to say. He's like a man of the people, essentially. He's the voice for the fans. And it's for him to have a 2-assist performance, for them to be for guys who don't normally get on the pitch is huge. It's showing leadership, I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. And in a way, he does show a lot of leadership. He's playing, especially, I said, when I see him on that set piece, he definitely plays quarterback, directing guys where to go and all that stuff. So let's get into the downfall of this game. Let's get into the issue at hand. And, we kind of circled around it a few times. Mr. Elliott, who's stepping into my office? Like they said, it's something about Mary. Step into my office because you're 5. You're done. I'm done with it. I can't defend you no more. I can't. I watched. This was hot garbage tonight. Again, you had one job. Yellow card. Giving guys free kicks. Leaving guys open in spacing. What are we doing out here? What are we doing, Mr. Elliott? Why? Why just keep doing this?
Gets a penalty. Drawing a foul gets a penalty too. Which, although it was a questionable call, but Elliott still did not put himself in the right position there.
Yeah, I mean, this was pretty bad. I mean, you had to take care of business, man. You have to take care of business at hand, and they didn't. They didn't at all. They just, I mean, Elliott, just like you said, you made Acosta make look like the MVP. I mean, I get he was going to get his, but come on, man, you can't be giving this guy free kicks. You can't be, you left this guy open, and when you let Acosta be open, he was going to do one or two things: find the back of the net, or he was going to find someone to find the back of the net. That's what he does. Yeah. This is what MVP players do. That's what they do. And you, my friend, made all sorts of mistakes tonight. Couldn't keep up with them. And like I said, and not just him, Mr. Sylvia, Simula, just, letting somebody score on you from halfway across the field is pretty embarrassing too. I mean, this Union team tonight shot themselves in the foot defensively when this game was in their grasp for the win, and I just can't figure out why. And it happened. So, but, ultimately, and when it comes down to it, I'm not mad. I should be frustrated. Again, I was hoping to walk out with a point. I was expecting a loss from what was on the floor. Again, using all bench pieces, I thought this was going to be a 3-0 win for Cincinnati. Opened my eyes to what Ty Brewer brought tonight. It opened my eyes for a lot of guys, kind of answering the bell, coming off the bench and wanting to step up, which was really, really good. But like I said, defensively, Jake Elliott making a bunch of mistakes and letting the reigning MVP, like I said, do what he does best. He was going to score, or he's going to find someone to score. I mean, that's what MVP players do. So, but yeah, that was my final touch on it. Steve, what is your final touch on it, and where can people find you?
People can find me at Soldier Steve 247, and of course all my articles on EOP website under the Union tab. And then doing from time to time, be doing Tuesdays, doing the Fairway to Heaven with Phil. But my final thoughts is now seeing this sort of lineup and this performance from Ty. The home crowd on Saturday is going to be expecting some goals, and they're going to be expecting, I think, to see Ty in some serious minutes again. So I'm hoping that what you guys keep saying, some of these takeaways and some of these good things, they're able to take away and use going forward Saturday and then away at Montreal.
All right. I like it. And you're going to be down there covering for EOP. You'll be down there live. And, of course, the other man will probably be in the house more than likely is J.D. Walker. J.D., what is your final thoughts about the game? What grade would you give the Union tonight?
I would. I'll give the Union a B for tonight, a B plus. You know, lots of. Yeah, I'll give them a B. Yeah, I'll stick with B.
Okay.
But it was. I mean, it was definitely lots of room for improvement. But when we expected a big flaming F, you know, this was a solid performance tonight, and hopefully something that this squad can finally just build some momentum on. And I'm hoping that it's a mental block at home. There is it's now it's in their heads. Hopefully they can break out of it against Charlotte on Saturday. I will actually not be in the press box, but I will be there with some friends. I believe we're in section 115. So that'll be my first game in the stands in a while. But
as a
I'll
fan,
try and still make it over. I'll still try and sneak down to the press conference after.
Oh yeah, you can do that. They know who you are. You run that thing. So
yeah, and finally, and let me finish my plug. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
I'm at Stream Punk Soccer on YouTube. My website is streampunkent.com, where I do a weekly column, This Week in Dupe, written around my videos, and I post videos of the player and coach interviews after the game, and get whatever action shots and throw whatever else out there that sticks. But you find me JD Walker on Facebook, Stream Punk Soccer on YouTube, at StreamPunkENT on X, and StreamPunkENT.com. And we will see you at the Sub on Saturday.
I like that, guys. Again, my man J.D. Walker and my man Soldier Steve, a follow there on X. And again, guys, you can follow me, Pat from Ambler, on X as well. Guys, this has been great. This has been our post-game show. The next one we'll have, I believe, will be in September against, I think it's around Labor Day weekend, against DC, when they will have their next national game. So we got a little bit of time. Hopefully we're not stressed out. Hopefully we're not ripping our hairs out by that time. I'm hoping that, like JD says, maybe they turn some things around against Charlotte this weekend. So guys, nice little stretch. Again, this is what we wanted from this Union team. The measuring stick was this past weekend. We got Miami, which they floundered out, and then they got a Cincinnati team, and you kind of measure up in two different areas, see where your bench is at, and to kind of see where your stars at. And it's not looking good with your starters. So because it looks like your stars don't care, or your stars don't care about the message going around the locker room, or they are just gas and they can care who else. Here, take my spot. I'm going on the bigger and better things. So we'll see what happens. But guys, again, for me, JD, Steve, guys, we'll catch catch these guys always down in the press, down in the Union, definitely at Subaru Park. But guys, I'll be down there next week covering Union too. But guys, thank you so much. Let's go Union, and let's ring out and let's get out of here. No doubt.
Tomorrow night, attacking third.